Hello everyone. Today we will gain some basic knowledge regarding the Sales of Goods Act through some basic multiple choice questions. So without wasting any time, let's start with it. The first question is, what can be the subject matter of the contract of sale as per section 6 of the Sales of Goods Act? Options are A. Only existing goods owned or possessed by the owner. B. Only future goods. C. Existing goods which are neither owned nor possessed by the owner. Or D. Existing goods owned or possessed by the owner or the future goods. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, the subject matter of the contract of sale as per section 6 is the existing good owned or possessed by the owner of future goods. The next question is, when does the property in a goods pass to the buyer in case of contract for sale or specific or ascertained goods? Options are A. When the contract for sale is made. B. When the parties to the contract intend to be transferred. C. When the price is paid for the goods. Or D. When the delivery of the goods has been made. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, when the parties to the contract intend to be transferred. Next question is, when does the property in goods pass to the buyer in case of an unconditional contract for sale of specific goods in deliverable state? The options are A. When the contract is made irrespective of whether the time of payment of price or delivery of good is postponed or not. B. When the party intends to transfer. C. At the time of the payment of the price of goods. Or D. At the time of delivery of goods. The correct answer to this question is option E. That is, when the contract is made irrespective of whether the time of payment of price or delivery of goods is postponed or not. The next question is, in which of the following cases property in the goods does not pass to the buyer when the goods are delivered to the buyer on approval or on sale or return under other similar terms? Options are A. When the buyer signifies his approval or acceptance to the seller as to goods. B. When the buyer retains the goods without giving a notice of rejection and upon the expiry of the reasonable time. C. When the buyer gives a notice of rejection to the seller. Or D. When the buyer does any other act adopting the transaction. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, when the buyer gives a notice of rejection to the seller. The next question is, choose the most appropriate answer. Unless otherwise agreed, the goods remain at a seller's risk until which of the following? Options are A. The goods have been delivered to the buyer. B. The goods have been utilized by the buyer. C. The price to the goods have been received by the seller. D. The property therein has been transferred to the buyer. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, unless otherwise agreed, the goods remain at the seller's risk until the property therein has been transferred to the buyer. The next question is, which of the following is true as regards delivery of goods in installment as provided under the Sales of Goods Act? The options are A. The buyer is bound to accept the installment deliveries only in case of perishable goods. B. The buyer is bound to accept the installment deliveries only in case of sale of goods by the description. C. The buyer is bound to accept the installment deliveries only if agreed between the parties. Or D. Delivery of goods can't be made in installments. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, the buyer is bound to accept the installment deliveries only if agreed between the parties. The next question is, in which of the following cases the unpaid seller cannot exercise the right of lien on goods in his possession? Options are A. Where the goods have been sold without stipulation regarding credit. B. Where the goods have been sold on credit but the term of the is expired. C. Where the buyer becomes insolvent. Or D. where the goods have been sold on credit but the terms of credit has not expired? The correct answer to this question is option D, that is, where the goods have been sold on credit but the terms of the credit has not been expired. The next question is X purchases a car from Y. After 6 months, Z, the true owner of the car, demanded it from X. X had to return it to the true owner. X was entitled to recover the full price even though several months has passed. This is an example of which of the following? Options are A. Condition as to description, B. Condition as to sample, C. Condition as to title, or D. Condition as to fitness. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is, the above statement is an example of condition as to fitness. The next question is a drug was sold by an auction, and according to the usage of trade, it was disclosed in advance of any vast damage caused in quality of the drug, but such disclosure was not made and the drug was found to be defective. This is an example of which of the following? Options are A. Warranty as to undistributed possession, B. Warranty as to quality or fitness by usage of trade, C. Warranty as to non existence of encumbrance, or D. Disclosure of dangerous nature of goods. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is, the above statement or the above situation is an example of warranty as to quality or fitness by the usage of trade. The next question is the Sale of Goods Act 1930 applies to the whole of India except options are A. Jammu and Kashmir, B. Dadar and Nagar Haveli, C. Goa, Daman and Diu, or D. All of the above. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, Sales of Goods Act 1930 applies to the whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. The next question is delivery within the meaning of Section 2 Clause 1 of the Sales of Goods Act 1930 can be A. Actual, B. Constructive, C. Symbolic, or D. Either A or B or C. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is, delivery can be either actual, constructive, or symbolic as per the Section 2 Clause 1 of Sales of Goods Act 1930. The next question is which of the following is an instance of the constructive delivery of goods? Options are A. Transfer of bill of landing, B. Attornment by a person in possession of a goods, C. Both A and B, or D. None of the above. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is, attornment by a person in possession of a goods is an instant of constructive delivery of goods. The next question is which of the following document is a document of title to goods? Options are A. Bill of exchange, B. Promissory note, C. Doc warrant, or D. All of the above. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, doc warrant is a document of title to goods. The next question is which of the following document is a document of title to the goods within the meaning of the Section 2 Clause 4 of such Sale of Good Act 1930? Options are A. Warehouse Keeper Certificate, B. Wharfinger Certificate, C. Both A and B, or D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is both A and B, which means that both warehouse keeper certificate as well as wharfinger certificate is a document of title to the goods within the meaning of Section 2 Clause 4 of Sale of Goods Act 1930. The next question is under Section 2 Clause 6 of Sales of Goods Act 1930, future goods means which of the following? Options are A. Goods which are not yet in existence, B. Uncertain goods, C. Certain goods, or D. Specific goods. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, goods which are not yet in existence are known as future goods as per Section 2 Clause 6 of Sales of Goods Act 1930. The next question is the question of insolvency of a buyer under the Sale of Goods Act 1930 is an importance in connection with which of the following? Options are the seller's lien on the goods, B. The right of stoppage in transit, C. Both A and B, or D. Only A and not B? The correct answer to this question is option C. That means both the seller's lien on the goods as well as the right of stoppage in transit is important. The next question is mercantile agent means the person A who sells goods or consigns for the purpose of sale or buy goods or raise money on security of goods. B who only sells or purchase goods. C who only consign goods, or D who only transfer goods. The correct answer to this question is option A. That means a mercantile agent is a person who sell goods or consign for a purpose of sale or buy goods or raise money on security of goods. The next question is the word property in the Sale of Goods Act 1930 means options are A. Seller or transferor, B. Buyer or purchaser, C. Goods or subject matter, or D. Ownership or title. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is ownership or title comes under the meaning of the word property. The next question is Section 10 of the Sales of Goods Act provides for the fixation of price of goods on or by A. By the valuation of third party, B. By the arbitrator, C. By the central government, or D. By the judge. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is Section 10 of the Sales of Goods Act 19 to provide for the fixation of price of goods by the valuation of a third party.